How's it going, guys? I just wanted to record this video to kind of shed some light on an important issue that's unfolding in terms of internet shit. But let me go over here and share my thing. 1 second. Bill C-11 is a Canada bill, and if you look over here at the Wikipedia, an act to amend the Copyright Act, also known as Bill C-11, was introduced in the House of Commons of Canada on September 29th, 2011. So, more than 10 years ago. The Act's anti-circumvention provisions have been called the most restrictive in the world, and student groups compared it to controversial Stop Online Piracy Act, or SOPA, that was proposed in the United States. Ottawa lawyer Kathleen Simmons stated, if we take out the digital lock provisions, the bill appears to be very balanced. It introduces some additional protection for different rights holders and performances, but it's also introducing a lot of user-friendly exceptions. After the Copyright Modernization Act passed, debates over its digital lock provisions continued in House discussions on Bill C-56, the Combating Counterfeit Products Act. Okay, so that's just what the Wikipedia says in the first paragraph, but we'll read an article about it. Bill C-11, a threat to freedom of expression. Okay. The goal of Bill C-11 is to correct the current legislation's blind spots and expand the CRTC's empire. If adopted in its current form, Canadians could see a massive bureaucratization of today's most dynamic spaces of creativity and expression. Economic, cultural, and legal consequences. According to the authors of the publication, this piece of legislation gives the CRTC a great deal of latitude to indirectly control content generated by individual users. There is a very real risk that streaming platforms and social media will be pushed toward a highly regulated environment. Expressive content like podcasts and video clips, which currently enjoy full freedom of expression, could fall under the CRTC's authority and suffer the consequences of CRTC orders targeting the platforms that host them. There is reason to worry about the potential harmful consequences of imposing a burdensome government mechanism in an area where freedom and the almost total lack of regulation have worked wonders so far, explains Mr. Backend. It is difficult to predict exactly how the CRTC would use these new powers, or even whether it would use them at all. The government really has no intention to regulate the independent content that Canadian citizens share online. It should amend the law and close this regulatory loophole before it is adopted. Includes Gabriel, I can't pronounce that last name, public policy analyst at the MEI. The Montreal Economic Institute is an independent public policy think tank. So that's where that information comes from. And then Bill C-11 expands the Broadcasting Act that grants the CRTC regulatory powers over radio and television to cover all audiovisual content on the internet, including content on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and podcast clients. Okay. Basically, the CRTC is the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commission. And regulating, okay, so that makes a little bit more sense, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about all of that. It does remind me of the whole SOPA and PIPA nonsense that happened. I didn't really think anything was going to come of it, but I think this is just important information to spread around. And yeah, I just wanted to make an informative video about it. And to give my opinion, I don't support the bill at all. And if anything, wants to restrict freedom of expression.